Welcome to the Explainer. We're jumping right into things today because there is a massive structural shift happening right now in the world of artificial intelligence. We spend so much time obsessing over algorithms and compute power and parameters, but today we're focusing on the absolute foundation of it all, the human intelligence that actually makes AI function. Specifically, we're going to unpack a really fascinating new framework from Codatta that completely reimagines how we value and reward the real people who make these models smart.
So let's just ask the big question, who really makes AI smart? As large language models and artificial general intelligence systems scale up, their hunger for data is absolutely exploding. But here's the catch. They aren't just hungry for any random data. They are practically starving for high-quality, verifiable annotation. The industry calls this vertical-grade data. We're talking about deep, nuanced knowledge that only human experts like your doctors or lawyers actually possess. Without that human expertise, AI development literally hits a brick wall. And that brings us directly to the core bottleneck the industry is sweating over right now.
Section 1. The AI Data Bottleneck. Right now, there's a massive disconnect between the soaring demand for expert knowledge and the systems we currently have in place to actually source it. Section 2. A broken labor model. The root cause of this bottleneck is pretty straightforward. Traditional platforms ask experts to give away decades of hard-earned knowledge for literal pennies, and the incentives just don't make sense.
Think about exactly how that legacy model fails and how Codatta flips it totally on its head. In traditional SaaS workforce platforms, contributors get paid exactly once. It's just a one-off micropayment for their time, and boom, that's it. Codatta, on the other hand, uses recurring royalties tied to real usage. It's honestly just like writing a hit song. You don't just get paid for the 1 hour you spent in the recording studio, right? You earn a continuous royalty every single time that song gets played on the radio. Codatta is applying that exact same proven logic to expert data.
And this ties directly into the whole concept of ownership. In the old legacy system, the platform owns everything. The lineage of where the data came from is completely opaque, and the expert gets zero recognition. But Codatta introduces shared ownership with on-chain attribution. What that means is the blockchain permanently and transparently secures the lineage of your work. It absolutely guarantees that the person who contributed the knowledge retains the credit, and more importantly, a financial stake in its future value.
Section 3. The Royalty Revolution. This is Codatta's core paradigm shift, converting data into shared assets to perfectly align everyone involved.
The crucial equation here is beautifully simple. Shared ownership equals ongoing royalties. Under this new model, every single unit of contributed, verified data isn't just a checked box on a task list. It's a brand new asset. That ownership entitles you, as the contributor, to a steady stream of income whenever your specific data is licensed or used by an AI model downstream. It totally fixes that broken paid-once problem that has, for years, kept top-tier talent completely out of the AI training loop.
Now, you might be wondering, what about the AI builders? How does this actually help a startup building a model? Well, Codatta introduces this brilliant concept called Train Now, Pay Later, or TNPL. Instead of an AI startup having to fork over massive amounts of cash up front just to get data, they could access the data right now and pay for it later from their downstream usage or successful results. It's true value sharing. This drastically lowers the adoption friction and the cash flow barriers for AI buyers, all while making sure contributors still share in the ultimate upside when the model succeeds.
Section 4. Verification and Trust. Okay, so if we are paying ongoing royalties for expert data, how do we make sure that data is actually reliable?
Codatta solves this trust issue through a strict verification-first pipeline funded by what they call staking as confidence. So first, a contributor submits their data along with evidence, but they also put up a financial stake. They're putting actual skin in the game to signal, hey, I'm confident in this. Second, automated checks instantly scan and flag any anomalies. Third, if there's a disagreement, it auto-escalates to blinded peer reviews and rigorous expert audits. And finally, step 4, even after the data is deployed, there's an open challenge period. Verification isn't just an afterthought here, it's strictly financed, prioritized, and enforced at literally every single step.
And this just brilliantly illustrates the accountability built into the system. If error reports come in post-deployment and that data is proven to be faulty, well, those original stakes, they get slashed, and the royalties get reallocated to the people who caught the error. They also use identity verification, or KYC, know your customer, when the risk truly justifies it. This makes sure precious expert time is only routed to the absolute highest risk items. It keeps verification as the main gatekeeper, ensuring the data stays pristine, all without creating some massive centralized bottleneck.
Section 5. Rewarding the experts. Let's look closely at exactly who wins in this new human-centric ecosystem.
Let's break down the actual players here. Think about domain experts first, your doctors, lawyers, PhDs. Today, they're blocked by insulting one-off fees and massive opportunity costs. With Codatta, they get ownership, ongoing royalties, and public recognition, which aligns perfectly with their professional pride. What about senior analysts? Right now, they get zero career benefit for data labeling. Under Codatta, the reputation actually compounds, and they get revenue shares just for maintaining datasets. Community validators finally get clear accountability and ongoing rewards for keeping the ecosystem trustworthy. And even tooling partners, like search or retrieval augmented generation tools, who used to have no share in downstream value, they now get programmatic royalties that scale up as the model is deployed. Literally everyone wins. To manage all of this and keep it truly human-centric, Codatta tracks something called the Contributor Long-Term Success Index, or LTSI. Think of this as your internal power score. It combines 4 key metrics. First, your verification pass rates. Basically, do your peers agree your work is good? Second, the actual downstream usage of your contributions. Third, endorsements from other recognized experts. And fourth, your consistency over time. This LTSI score is a total game changer because it powers smarter task routing, ensures revenue splits are fair, and basically acts as a compounding, on-chain resume of a contributor's entire career impact.
So when we compare talent access head-to-head, the contrast is pretty wild. Legacy platforms fundamentally cannot attract or keep top experts because the highly transactional nature of the work is just incredibly unappealing to them. Codatta, through its credential signals, the track records powered by that LTSI score, and carefully curated task funnels, naturally surfaces the exact right people. This human-centric combination of true recognition, real ownership, and recurring upside is the ultimate magnet for top-tier knowledge workers. And looking at it from a macroeconomic perspective, the sustainability is night and day. Legacy models are entirely volume-driven and fiercely margin-capped. It's a relentless race to the bottom for cheaper data labeling. But Codatta introduces a market-driven valuation. By relying on protocol-level incentives and that staking mechanism we talked about, data is magically transformed from a massive, depreciating cost center into a truly investable compounding asset. It heavily rewards ongoing curation, which is exactly what these AI models need to actually stay relevant and accurate over time.
Which leaves us with a really critical final question to ponder. In the rapidly approaching age of artificial general intelligence, will your data, your hard-earned expertise, your human intelligence be treated as just a sunk cost to be used and discarded? Or will it be a compounding asset that you actually own and benefit from? Codatta is betting heavily that the future of AI depends entirely on a royalty economy that finally respects and financially rewards the human mind. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. I hope this deep dive has completely shifted how you view the intersection of AI and human labor. Until next time, keep learning.